and I'm so pleased to welcome you to this virtual experience with Keukenhof, the world famous park in the Netherlands. As we all know, it's Earth Day today, and that's why we're here to celebrate and to inspire you to let the outdoors in and go on a great exploration. So before we join our host for this virtual experience, we have just a few logistics to take care of that I'll run through. The first is that if you have any questions at all during the session, there's a Q&A button at the bottom of your screen in Zoom, and there will be a Q&A at the end of the experience. So please send your questions in there. You can also vote for your favorites by giving a thumbs up so we know which questions to ask first. This is a Zoom webinar, so your camera won't be on, but you can use the chat to communicate with us, to communicate with your fellow attendees. We would love, I see some are already doing it, if you share where you're joining us from today and just select all panelists and attendees so that everyone else can see as well where you're tuning in from. If you have any technical difficulties at all, just use the chat to send a message to the panelists. We'll try to help you out as soon as possible. But that said, leaving and rejoining will fix 99% of your issues there if there's anything going on your side. And finally, this session will be recorded and you'll be able to watch it all on the Facebook Live throughout the weekend. And we'll send recordings to you in the coming weeks so that you can revisit your favorite parts or share the experience with some friends. So that's all the logistical details to go through. So without any further ado, I am so pleased to hand it over to our presenter for this virtual experience, Tom, who is going to transport us to the world of Keukenhof. So Tom, take it away.
Hello, thank you all, and thank you all for joining this beautiful tour in Keukenhof. My name is Tom, and I'm a commercial responsible in the park. And yeah, we are standing here in Lisse. It's a beautiful day today, and I'm so happy that yeah, even when we are closed on the moment, I can show you the park and show you the tubes, because we did a pretty hard job planting all those flowers in the autumn. And for us, it's a little bit sad that the public is not can have a look in the park because of the COVID situation. But I'm very happy that I can show you a little bit of it today. Before I'm walking into the park, I will explain you a little bit about Keukenhof. We built this park 72 years ago. So we are existing now quite a long time. And basically what we did 72 years ago, it's still the fundament of Keukenhof. In the autumn, we plant tulips, daffodils, crocus, all kind of bulb spring flowers in a 32-acre park. And 40 gardeners are working until Christmas to plant all those bulbs by hand. And then when winter comes and the spring will start, the tubes come out of the ground, and this will make the most beautiful park that you ever did seen before. And I'm very happy to show you around. So let's go in. On a day like this, in a normal season, there will be like 20 to 30,000 people in the park. People from all over the world visit the park. From more than 100 countries we count in 2019. And that was our record year as well. We received more than 1.5 million people in just those 8 weeks that we were open. So these are the gates you normally enter. We will give everyone a free map so you can you can navigate yourself through the park. There is not a specific walking path. It's just you can discover the park wherever you like. And I can tell you, it will be pretty everywhere. So I think this is impressive. So many colors, so many tubes. It's the best place. Start here to make a beautiful selfie to start your day in Keukenhof. Here we did plant in a mixture. So it's not one typical kind of tulip. No, it's really a mix of everything. So we will make sure in those 8 weeks that we will be open, this hill will be in bloom every single day. So we had a pretty cold spring till now. And we still have a lot of tubes need to come up. So as you can see here, some tulips are really blooming at the moment, but a lot of them still has to come. All the trees are still like in winter time. No leaves yet. But with nice weather coming up, in a few days, this park will be transforming in a beautiful, beautiful green park. As you can see here, there's a planted by mix as well, with a lot of daffodils that makes this beautiful yellow color. And we use some very nice flowers in here. It's called the muscari, the little blue grapes, and some hyacinths. Tulip is a beautiful flower, but doesn't have a typical smell. The smell in the park most of the times is because of the hyacinths. Keukenhof is a walking park. We have more than 17 kilometers of path in here. I will show you now a little bit of nature. There's a duck. Yeah, with no people in the park, the animals really feel free to join the tulips as well. So the park is only open for around 50 to 60 days a year. And that's the time that the spring flowers will grow. So a lot of people ask me, Tom, why don't you don't stay open for a little bit longer? Because often mid-May, there won't be any flowers in the park. The park will be beautiful, but people will come for these spectacular colors. I don't know if you can hear it, but you can hear the birds whistling in the trees. And even on a busy day, you can hear the birds here. Because it's nature. People behave in the park very well. And they don't play music very loud. So even with busy days, you can hear nature. But this park is not only about tulips. No. Guarantee it's fun for everyone. Here we have a petting zoo. On the moment, we're not a lot of pets, but we have a few rabbits on the moment, sheeps, chicken, and you can cuddle them normally in a normal season. There's a nice playground as well, I will show you later on. And here you can see the tulips really has to come. In the park, we have 6 very large pavilions. In the pavilions, we have beautiful flower shows. Every week, a different flower show. And in all the pavilions, there are many restaurants, souvenir shops, toilet facilities. So you can spend there all day long and no worries. You will see a lot of different things, but you can eat, drink, play. And if you don't like to go to the restaurant, just bring your own food. You are very happy here to enjoy yourself in the park. Bring your own wine, beer, a picnic. It's all fine for us. And we created a few spaces in the park where you can have your own picnic or just sit down in the grass. And on a beautiful day like this, perfectly for a picnic or make a nice picture. In this time of year, the blossoms tree will be nice and blossom. Very beautiful. We have more than 500 different kinds of blossom trees. So during these 8 weeks, there is always a tree nice and blossom. It's not all. This, what you can see now, are tubes as well. But they look quite different. We have more than 800 varieties of tulips. Name it, and they will have it. Only 2 tubes are not possible to grow. It's till now. There is no black tube, it's a myth, and there is no blue tube. So if you see a blue flower in Keukenhof, most of the time it will be or the crocus or the hyacinths. This is our picnic area. On the moment, just a few benches, but during a normal season, there will be space for everyone. There will be food trucks, so you can enjoy yourself with a nice burger or the typical Dutch poffertjes. And here we have the inspirational gardens as well. We build 6 of them every year. There are tiny gardens, and we try to show you how you can grow tulips in your own garden as well. because you don't need a field like this. You can make them in pots. You can mix them on a small space. And I think in every garden, there are space for tulips. But this is amazing. This is our beach garden. With a lot of sandy soil. But tulips grow perfectly in sandy soil. It's no problem. So next to the palm trees, in our beautiful boat that we use as a decorational item, in our waves made of muscaris. You can see our mail already. The mail is given by us to the Holland America line. It was a gift. And it's here already 40 years now. And it is a really traditional icon on the moment, I think. Everyone, especially from Asian markets, who visit Keukenhof, going to the mill, and you can climb it and stand on top of it, and you have beautiful views, and you have a watch over the fields. And with this blue sky, it's a beautiful, beautiful day. And here you can see the first trees getting green because they are standing right nice and sunny area. This is our picnic area as well. And over here, but I don't know if you can see it, but I try to show you. We did plant something for the little ones. It's Miffy, or for Dutch, Nijntje. Because we have a special area in here. On the moment, it's a little bit used, I see, for a TV production, but we have a Miffy house where you can buy a lots of Miffy items. And there will be a little playground as well. Miffy is home. I see her. And during opening times, the gardeners are working in the garden. They make sure the blooms that are overblooming, they cut them away and they make sure there will be enough space for the flesh flowers to grow. And my colleague Johan is working on the moment what I explained before. He has a look for the blooms that are not so fresh anymore. But don't worry, there will be more than enough to come. Over here, it's quite spectacular. We made a river out of the blue muscari that I showed you before. And in 2 days' time, it will be in full bloom. It will be a complete river. And today, it's really a lovely day. Blue sky, not too hot, no rain. But in springtime in Holland, the weather conditions are not always this. It can be windy and rainy. So we made some pavilions where you can hide and enjoy the tulips as well. I will take you to the biggest pavilion, our biggest greenhouse, the Willem Alexander Pavilion, and I will show you there. Over here we have more than 100,000 tubes. On every square meter, we plant 125 tulips, all different kinds. And here you can see that every tube is looking different. And here it's green. And if you look good, you see here, this tulip, for example, when it was fully bloomed, they will take the head off. And then you have a field like this. As you can see, because there are so many tubes around, no worries. Now I will show you why it's named bulb flower. If you be gentle, see, this is the bulb. This is the thing that we plant in the autumn. And the bulb is all in here. Put them back in. So, and we hide it. And what I show you now, this is just a little bit of Keukenhof. There's so much more to explore. So we will be so happy to welcome you next year. Because for this year, we don't think, yes, that's Buddha. We have more than 500 different statues in Keukenhof, all different kinds of art. I'm walking out, and I'm more than happy if there are some questions to answer some of your questions.
Hi, Tom. Yes, we have quite a few questions in the Q&A box, actually. So I'll take this as a moment to remind the audience that they can put questions in the Q&A box, and they can also vote on their favorites so that we answer the best ones first. But to start with, Tracy wants to know, when is the best time to visit the garden?
Yeah, we are only open for 8 weeks, but let's say don't come the first or the last week because we don't know what the weather conditions will be. So if you be here in the mid-season, the complete month of April, it's always nice and always good, and you will see a lot of different flowers. But it's all about the weather conditions.
Yep. And someone else wants to know, you showed the tulip bulb. Can you reuse a tulip bulb year after year, or do you replace them each year?
No, the tulip bulb is like a potato. It's starch, and he needs the starch to grow. So what we do in Keukenhof is we want maximum flower, and need to be beautiful to make this park for you. And after the blooming season, all the starch, it's gone. It's helped the flower growing. So you cannot reuse the flower bulb. What they do on the fields is they grow the tulip, and when it starts blooming, they cut off the head of the tulip, and then they can reuse the tube again. The bulb will be more bigger even the year after and the year after. But when it's here for grow and blooming, no, we need to throw it away. And last year we collect all the bulbs and we make paper of it. And our free maps that we give every visitor, it's made of the paper that we made of our own bulbs. So yeah.
Very cool, very cool. The next question is, how many different kinds of flowers are there in the park? I know you said, I think 500 plus types of tulips, but what other types of flowers do you have as well?
We have, I think on the moment, on a normal day, we have more than 200 or 2000 different kind of flowers. So yeah, every day there are, of every week, different shows, roses, hyacinths, name it, and we have it in Keukenhof.
Great. And someone wants to know, Gabby wants to know, what tips can you give us to grow our own tulips at home?
Okay, do it before it starts freezing. So plant your bulbs in your garden or in pots before Christmas, and just leave them outdoor. Don't put them in. Don't put them in your garage. They can have a cold. It's no worries. And then just give them a little bit of water when the soil is very dry, and leave it. And the rest is up to the bulbs. And you have to buy good bulbs every year. So you cannot leave them in your garage for 2 years and then plant them. Now, make sure you buy in the autumn some nice and fresh bulbs, plant them before Christmas, and you have a beautiful bloom during springtime.
Lovely. And maybe a similar question about the cold. Someone in the chat wanted to know if the hailstorm or the snow that we had recently in the Netherlands, did that affect the tulips? Did that harm any that had already bloomed?
No, it doesn't affect anything about the tulips, but it did slow down the season a little bit.
Yeah, makes sense. Another question is, what's your favorite part of the park personally? Which part do you enjoy the most?
Yeah, it's every week it's quite different, because the park's transformation is so fast. When the cherry blossom is coming, that's really amazing. If you see all those tulips with the blossom of the cherry trees, it's very beautiful. In the first weeks, when the crocus is coming up and you have the first bloom or the little snowbells, yeah, that will be amazing as well. So there is not one particular spot.
Yeah, gorgeous. Michelle wants to know, will the park open this year at any date? And I think that the answer is it already has, but do you want to share a little bit about that and how you've been able to open this year?
No, we did go open for 6 days. It was a test pilot by the Dutch government. If the park is COVID, if you enter the park, it will be safe for the people. And yes, it was very safe. But even with the test, we don't see any options to open before half May, and then the park will be, yeah, there will be no bloom anymore. So I don't think we will be open this year. Sorry, guys, next year.
Yeah, I see everyone really enjoying the chance to see it virtually, though, in the chat. Many people are saying that. Jiao wants to know, is the distribution of tulips, i.e. the tulip type, the color across the park, planned in advance? Does it change every year? How do you kind of map out the layout of the tulips in the park?
Yeah, we have our own design team that makes sure that Keukenhof will be different every year. Of course, it will be tulips and flowers, but the design is every year different.
Great. And someone wants to know how deep in the ground you bury the bulbs. I think you pulled one out. It didn't look that deep, right?
No, because that was indoor. Normally 3 times the size of the bulb.
Okay, that's a good rule of thumb then. And the next question is from Ruth, who wants to know, how much watering do the bulbs need every day?
Oh, not every day. One in the 14 days, a little bit of water. Actually, all the things the bloom need to bloom is in the bulb already. But just help them a little bit. Don't put them on very dry soil. Just a little bit of water, it's enough.
Nice. Nim wants to know, does Keukenhof grow new species that are not on sale to the public yet? And any hints on what the next tulip trend might be, if there's new colors or varieties?
Yeah, we try to show the people really the new tubes here as well, of course. And then a tube needs some time before it will be ready for distribution. It takes sometimes 3 to 4 years till they have enough bulbs for distribution. So yeah, you can see the new types as well, and we try to make trends. Yeah, absolutely.
Very cool. The next question is from Glenda, who wants to know if you can ride a bicycle in the park.
Not in the park, but you can rent bikes at our parking lot, and you can discover the bulb area with a bike.
Oh, lovely. And then the next question, I think, was about your little petting zoo area. Someone wants to know, how are the rabbits controlled so they don't escape and, eat all your flowers?
Yeah, we have our petting zoo gardener that really makes sure that the pets are fine every day, that nobody yeah, we have our pet control, let's say that.
Yeah, great. The next question is also about growing tulips at home. After the tulip has bloomed, if it's in a pot, how can someone best take care of the bulb for the future? Would you just let the bloom finish and then get
Take
rid of
them out, throw them away, and in the autumn buy some new tubes.
Yep.
Really, that's the only way. When you did bloom your bulbs, it's if you really do well and you put it in the storage and you make sure everything went well, next year you only have some green leaves and sometimes just a little flower. But the best is buy new and fresh ones.
Yeah. And I think you've already touched on this next question, which is from Tracy. What do you use to feed the bulbs? If I remember correctly, the answer was nothing, right? The bulbs have the
Nothing.
nutrition in the bulb itself.
Yeah. Absolutely. I need to end the session in a few minutes. So I'm very sorry if there are any more questions because I think the battery is low.
No worries. We're nearly out of time anyway. Maybe we can do just one last question and then call it a day. The last question is from Rosemarie, who wants to know how many people are employed to maintain the park in total.
Around about 50 people employed in Keukenhof, 10 on the office, and 40 in the garden.
Lovely.
And during a normal season day when we open, more than 1,000 people working in Keukenhof to make sure you have a very nice day. From the catering, cleaners, gardeners, taxi drivers. Yeah,
lovely. Well, to wrap things up, I mean, I see lots of people in the chat saying that they've really enjoyed being able to see Keukenhof this year. I know I really enjoyed the visit and seeing the tulips in bloom. So thank you, Tom, for showing us around and taking the time on this beautiful Dutch day. Very beautiful weather for the Netherlands. And thank you for everyone who tuned in for joining us on this great exploration. We hope you've been inspired to get to nature, to enjoy the flowers that might be around your area, and to, of course, come visit Keukenhof as soon as you're able. If you want to join any more sessions today, you can find more at tiqets.com/blog/great explorations, and there's lots more virtual experiences in nature to enjoy. But with that, thank you, Tom, again. Thank you, everyone, for joining us, and have a lovely Earth Day.
Okay, thank you, lovely Earth Day. Thank you, Tiqets. Bye-bye.
Bye.